This is the 2024 Acura RDX. This is the base trim level. Is it a compact luxury crossover worth considering? Well, today I'm at Acura to give you the information to tell me what you think about that question. Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to take a close look at this RDX. Being that it's the base trim level, it's also going to be a lower price point, which is a good thing in this day and age, but you might be surprised at some of the features that you have here based on the price. It has a comfortable ride quality, a comfortable interior, plenty of room for driver, passengers, and cargo capacity. And there is one major change for 2024. That's the fact that you can no longer buy these RDX models with front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive, or SH all-wheel drive, is going to be standard across the board on all trim levels. So let's dig in a little bit deeper and see what this RDX is all about. The exterior color on this model is Fathom Blue Pearl, and it has a parchment leatherette interior. Take a quick look at how that looks just to show you. And obviously we're going to do a full in-depth tour in just a little bit. Let's talk about the exterior of this model. You're going to find the jewel eye LED headlights, the LED daytime running lights. Now this base model, the base trim level, does not come with the fog lights, but with LED lighting up here, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. And as far as the diamond pentagon grille goes, the look is very unique, and it looks like it's already in motion. At least that's my particular opinion of what I'm seeing, even when it's not in motion. And one thing I do like to point out for those of you who watch me regularly, I'm sorry, I know I say this a lot, but some people ask, and they don't know, that flickering effect you're seeing, especially down there with the daytime running lights, has to do with my camera. That's not really happening, just in case you wondered. And you'll find a balance of chrome in a few different areas as far as trim goes on this particular vehicle. I think it fits, especially with this exterior color. And being all-wheel drive, let's talk a little bit about tire and wheel size. You can see it right there. Hopefully it shows up on the screen, but 235 is going to be the width. That's this area. A 55 series sidewall. That's this area right in here. And obviously the 19 will represent the wheel size. Just gave you a quick little lesson. If you've ever wondered what these numbers are about, well, now you know. Width, sidewall size, and the size of your rim. And the power adjustable side view mirrors will have turn signal indicators built in, the body colored mirror caps, and we'll take a quick look here at the remote. If you're wondering about remote start, not on the base trim level, but you still have a proximity key with the walk-away feature. And again, the chrome trim in these different areas down here. Now, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are where the chrome trim is concerned, whether it's down here on the door sills or what we have up around the top of the windows. Would you rather see maybe gloss black? Tell me what your thoughts are. You will find a panoramic sunroof. That's one thing that I know everybody seems to like, for the most part at least. The body-colored shark fin antenna, and you'll also find the rear roof spoiler back here that not only looks nice, but it's functional when you're driving down the road. That channels air over this back window, which means that back window will stay clean when you're in motion. But obviously, you're going to have that rear window wiper to use when necessary. And we finish things off here with the RDX logo, the Acura logo, SH all-wheel drive right here, and the exhaust finishers on the bumper. And how about motivation for getting this RDX down the road? It's the 2-liter intercooled turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 272 horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. And for those of you who have a bad taste in your mouth for the CVT or continuously variable transmissions, that's definitely not going to be an issue here, because this model has a 10-speed automatic transmission. MPGs come in at 21 city, 27 highway, 23 combined, And something that I know a lot of car review videos or vehicle review videos don't share, the gas tank size. In this case, you're looking at 17.1 gallons. And I'm sure I gave some of you a laugh earlier. It just came out the way that it did, but I realized that the exhaust finishers are not on the bumper. Somebody may have already said something about that in the comments section, who knows. But one thing that I can say here and say accurately and appropriately is that you don't have to worry about a tire repair kit, because underneath the vehicle right there is the spare tire. And you have a hands-free lift gate here, which is always good news, just makes things a lot easier. How about cargo capacity? 29.5 up to 58.1 cubic feet of cargo capacity. And you can see what I'm doing right here. Well, I say you can. Let's see if that will go forward. There we go. Don't know why that didn't work. But there's what you have as far as maximized cargo space goes. You'll also find some additional space here underneath the floor. And let's just take a look at something else that I know I'm asked about this a lot, so I like to show it. How about the angle at which those seats sit when they're folded flat? Well, it's not too terribly bad. They're not completely flat, but they're close enough to where you're really not sacrificing a lot of cargo space. And let me save you a little bit of time. If you say to yourself, you know what, because of where I park my RDX, I really need that power lift gate to sit lower. How hard is that to deal with? Very simple. Pull it down to where you want it to be, and you'll notice that it says hold to set height right here. So you hold the button and listen for all the beeps. Not too many beeps. And then you close the tailgate or the lift gate. And I actually had somebody in a recent video, I don't think it was with an Acura, but one of these vehicles, I think it was a Honda, somebody said, how do you set it back to the default height? Well, you just put it back where you think the default height is or where you want it to be, and you hold the button down again. It is kind of interesting to observe some of the comments that people receive, or send, I should say, leave on my videos. So let's take a look into the interior. A very nice look, elegant, I would say, as is appropriate. And how about the armrest comfort level? Well, I'd say it's pretty high. Seems to be nice and comfortable. There's a reasonable amount of room here with the door bin. You have a couple of different sections there, as you can see. One really, I would say, for snacks or whatever anybody wants to put right there in that front area. Is great for a bottle holder. And then we'll have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. And we'll hop on inside. You can see the storage pockets on the rear of the seats. And you'll also find that you have 2 air conditioning vents. And I mentioned earlier and showed you from the exterior that you have the panoramic sunroof. Here's what everything looks like from the interior. And yes, that front portion does slide or tilt open. Okay, for those who are saying, Tom, you've shown us quite a bit. What is it going to cost us if we decide to come in and maybe buy that RDX base? Now, this is here at OR Acura only. I can't say that all the dealerships have matching pricing, and they definitely don't have the Vehicle Visionary discount. So, $45,245 unless you mention that you watched my video. And this works on any new Acura model here at OR Acura. You'll get $500 off if you say, I watched Tom's video on the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel on whatever vehicle it is. Doesn't have to be the RDX, it could be anything else. So let's see what else you get for that price. Comfortable armrest, again, plenty of space right there and plenty of room within the door bin. And there's the Acura logo on the door sill right there. Probably a little hard to see with the glare, but it is there. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, by the way, but it just happened to. And power seats for the driver and the passenger, both are heated as well. And I really like Acura's use of space. They had the pass-through right here as part of the center console, and you'll find a USB option and a 12-volt power outlet over on the driver's section right there, driver's side. And we'll go ahead and hop in. Nice look across the dash as far as everything that we have here. And obviously, a glove box. I rarely see gloves in glove boxes, but that's what they're called, glove boxes. Maybe I should call them gloveless glove boxes. And you'll see the controls here for the air conditioning and the heated seats, obviously for the driver and the passenger sides here. And in this particular case, I know a lot of people are not very fond of the push button shifters, but I think having the push button shifter here is really the best option, because if you had a conventional style in this area, it seems like it would almost be in the way. But tell me what your thoughts are where that is concerned. And down here, we'll find another USB option right there, cup holders. And if you want to conceal all of that away with a neat, clean look, well, there's what you can do, or you can open that back up. And the center console with the lid right here that doubles as an armrest, that actually is at a pretty good height, I think. You can adjust the height of these seats to really compensate for that depending on what you need. And some space within this area as well. Like I said, storage space, quite a few different areas. Also a sunglass holder right here, or whatever else you want to fit in there, regular glasses or anything else. And right here with the upper console, several different controls, as you can see, including the power shade that you can open or close for the sunroof. And if you want to open or close the sunroof itself, there is the control you'll use on the left-hand side. On the driver's side door, well, you'll find the additions you likely expect. Controls for the windows, the power side view mirrors, and also seat memory. Two different settings right there. And you can see some of the other features we have here. I think you know what everything is where that's concerned. You can drop the lever right there to control the position of the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And when you get in, hopefully my mic picked that up. For those who are maybe new to the Acura brand, I like to show things like that. And you can see what happens when you start the vehicle up with your dashboard. So you have a combination of a few different things going on here depending on what you want to see or need to see. You can also see who's wearing their seatbelt and who isn't. You have the analog speedometer and tachometer there. There's a lot going on here. You can go through a lot of different information with your steering wheel-mounted controls. You also have the paddle shifters right here. And then over on the left-hand side, a multitasker, because you can control the lights on the exterior of the vehicle, your headlights and your taillights. And you can also use this a different way. But some of you aren't sure about what that actually means. And you might say, well, how do you know that, Tom? That's because I drive around you on the road all the time. Some of you get it, some of you might not. Those who don't get it are the ones who don't use it. Now here, I can't really say anything sarcastic about that because I think everybody uses the control right here, or it may be somewhere else in your vehicle right now, but that's how you control your front and rear window wipers. Now, one area that you might find interesting here. Here is your infotainment screen. Not hard to figure out or learn, but it's not a touch screen. And you might say, why is that, Tom? It should be. Well, really, because you can't reach it when you're sitting in the driver's seat unless you have the seat really far forward. So that's why you're going to use the trackpad down here. So I know everybody has their varying opinions about that, but that's just the way it is. And you'll just select whatever it is you need. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It is tethered, so you will need your USB cable for that if you want to use it. We'll go into reverse and show you the rear view camera. As far as what we have here, I do have a couple of different options here as far as what you can see. So if you're curious about that, well, now you know. And one more thing, we talked about the push button shifter here, but if you're wondering what is this knob for, or maybe we should call that a dial, well, dynamic selection is what that says, and what that is that's going to allow you to select your driving modes. So we're going to start with comfort, and you have snow, work our way down to normal, and you also have sport mode. So depending on what you need to drive in or want to drive in, well, there are your options. And the good news about that, this model for 2024 being that it's going to come standard all-wheel drive, well, here's the good news about that. It's great for snow and ice. So depending on where you live and what the weather is like, well, that could be very beneficial. And when you go to get out of your RDX, here is what is going to happen. So you have the graphics when you get in and the graphics when you get out. It's part of what you're paying for, so I might as well show you what's here. Okay, let's get out on the road for our test drive. And one important point I want to make here. Previously, with the exception, I think, of the A-spec trim level, I'm going by memory, when you had front-wheel drive, you did not have a spare tire, unless it was the A-spec trim level. All other trim levels came with the tire repair kit. Well, with all-wheel drive, the spare tire is standard. And you saw earlier, we're doing the base trim level. If you have a spare tire here, then you know that you're going to have it across all trim levels, with all-wheel drive being standard. So what's it like to drive the RDX? Well, the 2-liter engine under the hood, the 4-cylinder, is actually rather peppy. I think a lot of people might be surprised at how good of a job it does getting the RDX down the road. It's not meant to be high performance. It's not meant to be a hot rod by any means, but it still gets down the road with no problems. It gets up to speed when you're merging onto the interstate or whatever the situation is. I don't think you'll have any trouble whatsoever. And that's complemented by a nice, comfortable ride quality that works with comfortable seating. So it's nice when you have that balance of the comfortable seats and the comfortable ride quality from the shocks and suspension. Sometimes you have one or the other, but not both, and it really kind of cancels out whatever it works the way that it should to make the ride quality comfortable, but then the other isn't. And so I probably understand, hopefully you understand what I'm saying there. Comfortable seating and comfortable ride quality from your shocks and suspension. So that's good. And technology here is really easy to learn and use. And I know some people are going to say, you know, Tom, I really want a touch screen. Well, as of right now, that's not what we have. When the RDX receives a full redesign, if that day comes, well, then we'll probably see a touch screen at that point. For now, you have the trackpad here, and for some people, that may not be an adjustment at all, because there are some vehicles out there on the market people might own from a few years ago that have screens, but they're not touch screens. They may not even have a trackpad. Some out there, such as the previous generation of the Ford Escape, I believe, you had to use the controls on the steering wheel to control the screen. So depending on the situation and the model of the vehicle, well, that may determine what you're used to. And so you might say, well, you know what? I like that trackpad even more. So one way or another, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. A lot of space within the interior. By no means do I feel cramped. And I haven't really gone to great lengths to adjust the seating position or anything like that, because I'm just doing a really quick test drive here. But overall, it's a very comfortable vehicle in every form and fashion. Okay, tell me what you think. Is the 2024 Acura RDX base a compact luxury crossover worth considering? Tell me what your thoughts are. I'm curious to know. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Acura for loaning me this RDX for the day. If you want to know more about this model and maybe come in and take advantage of the Vehicle Visionary discount, check out the link down in the description of the video. And I'd also like to say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to watch. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. And if you would like to see future videos, please consider subscribing. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.